What's up, chat? Does this mean you'll be drawing for another 10 hours after a 2-hour broadcast? No. That's why it says theoretically. But I've started timing myself just to see how many hours I'm actually drawing, and how fast it takes for me to finish one page, basically. But it's time to actually get into the nuts and bolts of like manga production. If I want to be able to do like 60 pages a month, that means I need to be able to do about 3 pages a day without assistance. Let's assume I don't have assistance. Just finish in 1 hour like Toriyama. Toriyama doesn't actually finish a page in 1 hour. The 1 hour that he lists is when he puts the pen in on the main characters and stuff. And after that, he gets an assistant to come in and finish up extra stuff. So everybody who actually does mangaka usually has 1 to anywhere between like 6 people helping them. 1 page day per day is realistic? Wrong. I'm working digitally. I finished a page in I'm currently at about a 3-hour pace per page, if I'm going actually fast. And I'm going to show you my actual speed today by not talking to chat. Because I always fucking talk to chat because I care about the streaming product. But everyone's like, oh, the reason why he's always blaming chat. If only we weren't here. I'll show you how real that shit is today. How many pages has the first chapter? 39. I'm done with like, I don't know, 10. I'll probably have to go back and fiddle with some stuff later. So, here we're gonna fucking go. I'm not gonna say anything for the next, let's say, 15 minutes. Focus session. Thank you, Microsoft. I really need your stupid ass product for 15 minutes. We don't really need this. We'll just keep on using the timer. So until like the 18 or 19 minute mark. Mute music? No. It's time to actually go fast. Hiding chat. Let's go. We have 63 viewers right now, which is about the same as usual, although sometimes it can go as high as 100. So I was doing that for like about 3 hours last night, and I basically was able to finish a page. So if I can do one page in 3 hours, and I draw for 12 hours a day, I can do 4 pages per day. Jesus fucking Christ, Microsoft. That's Microsoft, right?
Good work, BB.
Oh no. That's notifications that I'm ignoring. That's right. Thanks for the donation. I didn't see who it was, because for some reason the Stream Element shit doesn't, it doesn't check. So I don't really have to worry that much about going super fast on stream because I'm only going to be streaming for like an hour or 2 hours at most. So if I'm actually planning to draw 12 hours a day, that's like 1/6 of my total drawing time. So it's not that big a deal if I take it easy for a slight amount of... a smaller percentage of that. If I'm only going to draw 3 hours a day and 2 hours of it is streaming and that's slow, then that's not going to be very good, but... if I'm going to be drawing 12 hours a day, it's not that big a deal. It was me, it was her. It's her. When did that it's him thing come from? I started people doing the it's him shit last year. But I don't know when it started. How long until the Dragon's Dogma 2 cravings come back? I'm kind of out of it now. I was able to break my addiction. I mean, I played like 45 hours, 50 hours in like basically a week. I was basically playing 10 hours a day, so... I'm past the point in Dragon's Dogma where all I want to do is play that video game. Like for me, there's like peak video game energy where all I care about is playing that video game. And when I get past like the 70% point, and I get and I unlock a lot of the abilities and like gear and stuff, and I'm not experiencing new things every single second of the game, then that energy starts to go down. So I'm past that point now, so I don't have to play Dragon's Dogma. Did you get all the Sphinx riddles right? No, because no spoilers, but she says something about a lover. I'm trying to play the entire game without looking at any information, and I've locked myself out of quests, I think. But I'm trying to... You only get to play a game for the first time once, so I'm just trying to go completely blind. But yeah, I'm leaving the Sphinx for a while, and I was doing other shit. Neurons stop activating. I don't understand people who can play the same video game for like 3,000 hours unless it's like multiplayer competitive something. It probably is some form of autism, which apparently I have as well, but I don't ever get that way. If anything, I usually stop playing a video game before I finish it, because once I feel like I've experienced the primary part of the game, then I'm no longer interested. I haven't completed the main story quest of a Skyrim or Skyrim 2 or Skyrim 3. The last Bethesda open world game I finished, the main story quest was I think Fallout 3, now that I think about it. I did New Vegas as well, if we're counting New Vegas as a Bethesda game or not. Same reason speedrunners are the way they are. We're speedrunning drawing right now. New Vegas feels strong, man. Everybody has their fond memories of New Vegas. I think the #1 reason why New Vegas is loved more than Fallout 3 is because it doesn't have that shitty-ass green filter. The green filter looks like shit, and then Fallout 4 comes out, and then everyone's like, no, wait, I want the green filter back. It added character. But that's more of a problem of Fallout 4 being shitty, not a problem of the green filter being good. We need to figure out how to depict the apocalypse without having shitty filters. Also, Boston was a horrible location choice. Who the fuck cares about Boston? They could have chosen so many better locations. New Vegas is widely loved because it's 1,000 times better than 3 and has actual content. It definitely has more role-playing content. And, like, choices. All of your choices matter. Part 5. Once again, all of our choices matter. Oh, gee, thank you, Todd. I sure love it when my choices matter. They don't. I wish they'd go somewhere other than America for once. Don't worry, there won't be any more Fallout games going forward. Bethesda no longer has the ability to produce video games, so you'll never have to worry about playing a video game by them again. If you do get Elder Scrolls 6, it will be 15 years from now, so don't worry. You won't have the conundrum of complaining about minor grievances for a while. Kind of hard to do the grim post-apocalypse aesthetics without making everything gray. I mean, they keep on trying to do it in other games, not they, but video game developers in general with, like, Dead Island and stuff. We've had a bunch of games that are like, or Far Cry, where it's like you're going to go to quote-unquote paradise, and it's like a tropical nation, and then you murder a bunch of people or kill zombies and stuff, so it's not like totally non-existent. It's not like nukes change the weather unless you get enough ash in the air to block out the sun or whatever. If you go to the Bikini Atoll Islands, they're still beautiful even though we nuke them to hell. Not 100 years later apocalypse. Yeah, the Fallout setting of it's been 100 years since the apocalypse and we're all still living in scrap metal shacks makes zero sense, but you know, that's the suspension of disbelief shit. If you can't even get past that level of suspension of disbelief, then you're in a hard ride for the rest of the game. Are you pronouncing it wrong on purpose? It's Bethesda, not Bethesda. I don't know how to pronounce it. People always, like, how often do you actually say that word? Bethesda? Bethesda?
Bethesda.
It says Bethesda.
Bethesda.
He's been corrected many times before. I truly don't give a fuck. It's not like I'm ever gonna go there. Pronouncing words correctly is for people who have conversations with other people, which I don't ever plan to do, so it doesn't matter. You're conversing right now. You're not people. You don't even exist. Whatever chatbot ghosts of the internet, I don't count you people as real people. Not a real human being. Now we have more viewers now that I'm speaking. Oh, my subs are about the same as always, but the Twitch money has dropped considerably, so I think Twitch has is starting to fuck with their creator payments now at this point. This truly is a not a profitable enterprise, streaming. Honestly, you guys should be glad that I'm streaming at all, considering I could make way more money by just driving DoorDash in this time. What will you do then? I guess I could go to Kick or something, but what's the point? Streaming is totally a dead-end profession unless you're one of the people who got in early. Like, is there anybody that actually, for people who actually follow Twitch, is there anybody who in the past few years has just been like suddenly gotten popular or something? Is that a thing that even happens at this point? This Kai Cenat guy, I should watch his streams to see what he's doing and copy it like everybody else does for everything. Mostly just chatting people. Yeah, everybody who gets big nowadays is just chatting people who create weird cult of personalities by screaming and doing desperate shit. That's how look at this stuff. People don't actually go to Twitch for gaming anymore. It's kind of sad. Faced with the dark side of the force, Twitch has succumbed. It was always going to succumb. Oh, you mean the people who are producing content? Yeah, that's kind of sad. If you mean the taking more money from streamers because they're greedy, that was always the end goal. So I'm not specifically surprised or sad by that. There's no site like Twitch. Yes. It's also not profitable, because having a shit ton of servers is always expensive. That's one of the main reasons why I don't think I'm ever actually going to go to Kick, besides the whole Amazon Prime stuff and people giving me free Prime subs or not having any free Prime sub, is because it's still using Twitch servers, so it doesn't actually have any kind of future for it. The server costs are the same, or if not more. It's just operating at a loss right now, because it wants to get big. All of these fucking companies operate at a loss, and they don't tell you that they're operating at a loss until their shareholders start bugging them about why they're operating at a loss for the last like 6 years. And then they're like, guys, this is unsustainable. And then they either fucking go bankrupt and shut that shit down like Mixer, or they, well, I guess that's it. There isn't any or. They try starting to raise the prices and then try and make actually profit at some point, but then they realize it's impossible and then they shut that shit down. Mixer can still win any day now, guys. I believe in Mixer. If anything, Kick's purpose in life is to be there so Twitch can say that they don't have a monopoly over streaming and shrug a lawsuit or two. There is YouTube live streams, I guess, if you're a VTuber. If you have a anime catgirl avatar and you're Japanese, then theoretically you can say you're live streaming on YouTube, but that's about it. Why so many JP VTubers only do YouTube? I don't know. Twitch just never caught on in Japan in the same way. So when it came for their time to do this new thing, a lot of them just went to YouTube. It was a period of a gap time slot in between when Nico Nico was on its death and Japan hadn't really adopted Twitch enough, so I still don't think there's that many Japanese streamers on Twitch. It's just not as popular. Wait, I can't actually have him do it be... I keep on forgetting that he has a fucking shield out. put her smile and optimism back. I actually finished drawing the single page in which he destroys her. Total Osanajimi death last night. I didn't want to do it on stream because I wanted you guys to enjoy the moment of childhood friend destruction when you get to read it for real. Destroying childhood friends is one of the things that I was most looking forward to when I started drawing this. I'm a sadistic person in general, but I like psychological sadism more than physical sadism. The manga will drop any day now, Copium. I hope this this allows you guys to experience how much time it actually takes for something to get completed. The thing that you take 3 minutes to read takes a month to draw. Fuck my life. This is how you draw out the manga? Yeah, don't worry. No, nothing's getting drawn out in this. That is for sure. Whatever plot points I have, we're going at them directly, immediately. Can't fuck around with drawing it out because your editor is like, yes, this is popular. I think we can take this storyline and grind it out just a bit longer. A few more months. I followed another comic artist for 8 years. She's finally on the final chapter. I mean, how many chapters does she have? If my manga gets popular enough and people only care about the plot, I can start posting shit in a more unfinished state and just sort of wing it that way. "32 chapters, yeah, seems about right." Stick figures is where it's at. I never read stuff like, I'm forgetting what it was called, Homestuck and stuff, but weren't like the early internet comics specifically built like they would have a stick figure or a little scribble, and that was enough for people. And then you were just updated every day because the amount of workload that you had to put in to actually draw it was way less. Homestuck, what was it called? Homestuck? I never read it. Average page count for chapters is 40. Yeah. It's a few volumes there. Also, Western artists being like, I have to color everything is really stupid. And it's part of the reason why, whether professional, amateur-wise, they can't publish at all. I'm currently trying to figure out how I can draw faster. And instead of trying to figure that shit out, they're obsessed with their standards of what shit needs to be colored for it to be quote-unquote complete, ignoring that the fact that the Japanese manga industry is doing laps around them in terms of books sold. People would rather have something that actually updates regularly than something that's properly colored. What do you think about KXCD? I don't even know what that is. Manhwa is also obsessed with color. Yeah, but manhwa, especially the scrolling type, they just fucking reuse the same image like 18 times. I don't know if you guys noticed that shit, but they're copy-pasting the shit out of everything. Also, they don't actually draw anything. It's just like close-up of face, person making expression, blank page with one bubble with one line on it. Scroll down more, etc. It's pretty fucking awful. The Belgo-French comic where the artist insisted on coloring with watercolors, it was never finished. To be fair, the French publishers, they consider comics to be like high art or something, so it's more acceptable. And some of the shit that they produce really is high art level quality, so I'm more willing to give them a pass. Hey Rocky Rock, thanks for the gears. Tier 1 gifted sub to Noopsier. I appreciate the support. Was it because the artist died of old age? No, it was because he was arrested for touching underage girls. Haha, just kidding. No one would ever get arrested for that in France. That's part of their culture. Oil is easy mode. Compared to watercolor, it literally is. Art, medium, tiers, difficulty. And then like S is like wet on wet. I'm gonna put ink manga around a B, because I don't think it's as hard as people think it is. It's still pretty hard, but there's actually a ton of shit that you can do to fix stuff. Like Murata, if you watch his process, he explains how sometimes he'll make a mistake and he'll just take the actual sheet of paper, put it through a Xerox machine, copy it, take it back out, and then keep on working on it. Ink, manga, Copic markers. I'm gonna put oil around here at a C. But throwing up colored milk on canvas with an audience is hardball. I'm not gonna say it's not hard, because there is a hard aspect of it, and that's marketing yourself. It's like, look guys, look how different I am. I'm taking this image of Jesus and shitting paint out of my asshole onto him. Oh my god, I'm such a fucking artist. Everyone's like, my god. Keikona clap. This guy's a genius. I don't know what A would be. Which part is Bob Ross? Barb wasn't he doing watercolor? Anyways, he's more of a teacher than an artist, I would say. He used oils. Yeah, oils is good starting point. I don't know what should be in A. Honestly, I can't think of that many mediums because I didn't actually work and stuff. I guess A could be like sculpture, bronze. The reason why I'm saying bronze is because this is additive, and these are subtractive. Marble is top tier. Marble and wood are top tier because they're subtractive sculptures, but especially marble because, as everybody knows, if your weight distribution isn't right and you don't have to, if you don't think about how you're going to support the weight of the sculpture, then like the arm is literally going to fall off, like all those Greek sculptures and shit. Gouache, colored pencil, charcoal, pastels, etc. I think this charcoal and stuff, anything that you can erase is probably in the same area as C. Oil, charcoal, pencil, etc. So this is where, you know, most people who want to start becoming a traditional artist, where they have you touch that shit, right? They teach you how to do charcoal and pencil and stuff like that. Stuff where you can erase with a fucking piece of bread. Or, you know, an eraser or something. But if you want to truly cheat, then you should be going here. Digital. Control Z. The true king of ease. The precious kneaded eraser. Not gonna lie, kneaded erasers are kind of trash, guys. I don't think they make anything better. I don't know why they're like, oh, I'm an artist. Look at my kneaded eraser. It's like, oh yeah, this thing fucking sucks. Control Z layers. Put everything on a different layer. Drag that shit around. Like I'm doing right now. Easy. Not gonna lie, I fucking hate using traditional media at this point. Luckily, enough mangaka use assistants that work digitally now that I don't have to worry about being like, oh, every mangaka still works traditional pen and ink. If I have to do an assistant as my job going forward. I mean, that shit is stupid. Fucking ink getting everywhere. You take 1 second, you're not paying attention, you put your hand on the wrong place to draw something else. You fucking smash, like these eyes here, this would be a giant ink blob. And if I mistakenly rubbed my hand across the page, then I'd have a fucking ink smear that goes everywhere. It sucks. Rank Z is something cool. AI shouldn't be in that rank. If there's an alphabet letter lower than Z, are we talking like shonen manga style rank Z, where it's like, oh, the main character has no powers, that's why we ranked him rank Z, you're the only person in this rank in the school. And it's like, no, I'm the weakest. Little did they know their power tracking device couldn't understand that he has infinite power, which is why he has rank Z, also known as rank 0, the ultimate number. Nandato? He's actually more powerful than the strongest SSS class user? This cannot be. Very matching for AI then, gonna eat us all. Apparently it still can't figure out that humans don't have 6 fingers, so... As someone who looks at a lot of AI porn, there are people who just like straight up post their 200 plus pages of AI porn that they just prompted on Pixiv, and I will go through them to see if there's anything I can jack off to. And really the job of the AI prompter is to actually look through his images to make sure there isn't like something so egregious that people can't jack off to it, like a fourth arm or something. But some people don't do that, and oh by God, it's still just as bad as it used to be in terms of not understanding that, yes, people don't have like a 5th leg growing out of their back. The reason that AI seems like it's getting better is because A, people have started developing LoRa's, so AI is getting better at imitating specific artists, and B, the AI prompters, that at least the responsible ones, are actually going through all the 10,000 images they generate and only posting the ones that don't have any horrible anatomical mistakes. But the people who don't do that and just straight up post it, or don't have the artist eye to recognize that humans don't have 4 arms, yeah, it's still just as bad as it used to be. Anything that uses Gen AI is really bad, stolen data sets. Yeah, but I'm stealing my porn on hentai, e-hentai anyways, so I'm already stealing shit, so what's the difference? It's not like I was paying all those porn artists any money when I look at their pirated images on my Western hentai sites anyways, so... What rank is PewDiePie at? PewDiePie, well that was the artist, it's the art medium, not actually the artist. I think he was using Copic markers, but like who cares? It's pretty crazy how the level at which PewDiePie getting quote-unquote good at art of seething caused, when he's basically doing the same thing that any 14-year-old girl does, which is draw floating anime heads and then only showing the ones that turned out the best. It's basically the same thing that literally every preteen does, and people are like, no, I can't believe PewDiePie is also a billionaire, and he's also a talented artist too, oh my god! People are just losing their fucking mind. Or they're being like, you did it, PewDiePie! You accomplished your dream, you're an animator now. It's like, no, he's neither. He's just like a normal teenager who draws anime heads. The good thing about being a visual artist and a manga-style visual artist is that you can immediately impress people by just drawing the most basic shit. You draw some titties, people just fucking lose their mind. They're like, oh my god, he's a god-tier artist. At least in person. On the internet, people won't pay attention to you because, you know, they have other options. You are so negative. It's like a news media here. If it seems like I'm being negative, it's because I'm speaking the truth. Unfortunately, some people can't handle it. Just like Fox News, I'm fair and balanced, and I only speak the most truthful things. Drawing torsos with cocks is where it's at. Yes, if I go to a gathering of females, I will draw a torso with a cock to impress them, I guess. I wish they would get rid of that watch streak. It's so silly. Now, donation streaks, I'm much more up for that. But I shouldn't take away Leafy Toby's joy in life of getting watch streaks going, so... It's free, useless points. Oh shit, you got plus 450 points. Guys, do you want me to use my points on anything? To have like some kind of gamba? Because we don't really have any usage methods for points right now. Draw pecs? No. Can you add, say, a Japanese point redemption? Hystrixia, can you do that? I can't add anything because I don't know how to use Twitch, any kind of Twitch functionality, and I don't really plan to learn how to do it, so... The answer is no. I'm incapable of adding new functionality. Mods can't do it, well then it's not going to happen. What part of drawing 12 hours a day do you not understand? That means I'm not fiddling with fucking Twitch. Usage for point only benefits people who are already watching the stream. It's not getting me any new viewers either, so... It's essentially meaningless. Mods can't do it. I would have added something useless by now. Hold on, I have to fart. Drawing 12 hours a day doesn't make sense when you play Dragon's Dogma 2 for 12 hours a day already. I'm definitely not doing that anymore. I have some bad news for guys who were hoping that Dragon's Dogma 2 was the fully realized vision of Itsuno, where it has like 10,000 hours of gameplay, and it has 5,000 enemy types, and you can go to the moon and shit like that. The stuff that people were having orgasms over when Dragon's Dogma 2 was announced, none of that shit has happened. Some of it might get added if they have a Dark Arisen style expansion, but it's kind of on the same level as the first game, not Dark Arisen, but the first game pre-expansion in terms of some of the content. The enemy types are pretty limited, and there's a lot of nice city quests and a lot of nice walking around the large open world, which the previous game didn't have. But some of the some shit has been streamlined / dumbed down, so yeah, it's hard to say it's a straight upgrade. I enjoy it immensely, but for anybody who was hoping that this was going to be the God game, and a lot of people were hoping that, they just clearly rushed it out of the gate. I mean, I can't imagine that even by Capcom's silly standards, they would release a game in which you can't make a fucking new game, where you have to manually delete the file. go to files on your PC and manually delete the file to create a new game. So I'm pretty sure it was rushed out by Capcom so that they could meet the fiscal year report is, I think, what happened. Sad to hear that. It has enough big, cool moments, and the core gameplay is fun enough that I think it's a solid 8.5 out of 10 or so, which is what it got on by most reviewers. But it's not like the God game. It's definitely a few steps below Elden Ring, which was released in a much more complete state. In some ways, I enjoy it more than I enjoy Elden Ring, for some aspects, though, which says a lot about what it does good. It does really good. And there aren't many other games like it. So I can't really say that many bad things about it, but it's not like a God game. I thought you were a big defender of a game a week ago. Yeah, well, the problem is that it doesn't have enough content to give it like a 10 out of 10. So while I'm still consuming the new content, and before I had seen everything, it was like a 10 out of 10. And then once you get like 50 hours in, it's like, yeah, this is probably an 8 out of 10 game. Because they didn't actually... If they had given it another like 8 months in development, it might have been a 10 out of 10. And it might be a 10 out of 10 once they release the Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen equivalent expansion in the future. Was Dragon's Dogma 2 like the first game where it was somewhat half-baked? I haven't gotten to like the climactic fights against Medusa or the dragon, Grigory, and stuff like that yet, so I can't say for sure. It's not as half-baked as the first game, but you can definitely feel that it was rushed out in some aspects. It's a very good example of how it's better to just not buy your games at release. It is a little undercooked, but it's still super fun. Which is why if you're going to buy it now, you should make sure that you go in playing blind. Because it has a lot of cool stuff that you will only get to experience if you play it blind instead of like checking news or looking at walkthroughs and stuff like that. A lot of it, see, it doesn't provide you with any of the helpful quest markers and shit. So you have to figure out a lot of shit yourself, and that's where a lot of the fun is. Like, there's a lot of ways to bypass some quest shit that you would think would be mechanics and, like, go around stuff and figure shit out on yourself. So that stuff is really a lot of fun, and that's a good reason to buy it at launch. But if you're not interested in that, you should probably wait until they patch it or release a download content or something. Isn't it better to clear it and see the ending than to leave it uncleared? Has he already cleared it? I have not cleared it, but I also have to draw. I'm literally not making money right now, you know. This whole shit is a vanity project. It might make some money when Solus dubs it and stuff. But I can't be both doing a vanity project that doesn't make money and then also be like playing video games and not even doing the vanity project, because that's just pure neat shit. Alright, I have to take a piss. Be right back. Enjoy your 1-minute ad break. Baal progressing and not pissing his pants for real, but probably shitted himself a little. I actually pissed the bed while I was sleeping like a week ago. Not by much, but I was having a dream about walking around in like some public restroom and being like, man, it's time to piss. Why can't I piss? Something feels weird. Why is Joe Biden walking around? And then I woke up with like some small amount of urine hitting my leg. I was like, shit, gotta get out. That's rough. I drank a ton of water before I went to sleep. I usually wait until my bladder is empty before I go to sleep, but I was just like, whatever, I'm just gonna sleep right now. He buys things for cheap, but he won't accept free games. Is that an autism thing? If you're just giving me free games, I already have like a shit ton of, on like Steam especially, which is what I assume you're talking about. I already have like about 8 free games that, not free games, but like, I bought a Humble Bundle recently with a bunch of stuff that I was like, I should be playing this. Like, what was it called? The Castlevania remake? Not the remake, but you know what I mean. Metroidvania stuff. So there's a bunch of games in that I was like, I could play this. And have I played any of them? No. Did you buy the Boomer Shooter bundle? No, not that one. Although it had one shooter in it. This was during like a speed run thing. One of the games done quick stuff. I was like, it has Celeste. I played Celeste for like 5 minutes and I was like, oh, I forgot, I fucking hate platforming. Fuck this, and I stopped playing. It didn't have Ultra Kill in it, it had something else. But having not enough games to play is not my problem, so I definitely don't need any kind of help from people donating me games. Not having enough time is my problem. I mean, I have like PS Plus, the most cheapest version, which you absolutely have to have if you want to play anything online, which is thanks a lot Microsoft for doing that shit. For teaching Sony how to scam their customers, but I have that. And that gives you like 3 free games every month as part of the bundle. I have so many games I haven't even touched, much less finished. I have to finish the Final Fantasy Remake Part 1 before I can go on to Part 2, and I haven't even done that. I haven't finished Dragon Quest XI, etc., etc., so... How many hours do you have in Slay the Spire now? Like 300. Which isn't that much, considering Slay the Spire players. The average Slay the Spire player. You can just watch the cutscenes online for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1. Yeah, but I've gotten too deep into it. Also, I don't want to watch the cutscenes either. Modern Square's cutscenes are actually legitimately cringe, so I don't even know if I want to play Part 2, honestly. I don't have as much fond memories about Final Fantasy VII as a story as some people do, so... I don't even know if I actually want to play it. Final Fantasy VII Remake is one of the games, I've said this before, but it's a game that I really want to like. And there's aspects about it that I like. But in my heart of hearts, do I actually like it? It's kind of okay at best. That's the problem. I'm trying to like it, I don't actually like it. You said 9 is your favorite, right? What makes you like it so much? It's kind of divided between 8 and 9. I think 9 is like the most coherent package as a whole in terms of story, setting, aesthetics, gameplay, etc., etc. 8 is the one that has the most soft spot in my heart because it's the first one I played. And I think it's better than 9 in some aspects as well, but I think the junction system is kind of stupid, honestly. I would only play just to see Red 13 riding around on the Chocobo. I would only play just to see Red 13 impregnate Aerith when they're trapped in the laboratory by Hojo, and he's like, let's see if an ancient can reproduce with another ant monster or some shit like that. And Aerith is like, no, please, not the knot. That would be horrible. Wink, wink. And Aerith is like, and like Red 13 is like, I'm a fucking child, you pervert. That escalated quickly. Pretty common hentai scenario, honestly, because it's actually canonical. Hojo straight up says he wants to, like, see if they can reproduce and shit. It was a different time, you guys. We were allowed to get away with stuff like that. White woman coded. Red 13 is both a dog and underage. So, it's like the perfect white woman catnip right there. Shota and bestiality, yes. Also, he's mentally underage, but he lives in the opposite of dog years, so he's actually like in his 40s or something, right? So it's both legal Shota and bestiality, but it's he's a Shota that's older than the age of consent, and he can also provide consent because he's a sentient dog, but he's also a fucking dog. So it's like, it's basically the equivalent of men going to the local shrine and encountering a 7,000-year-old lowly fox goddess who's like, I may look like a child, but I'm actually 7,000 years old. Do you like to mofu my tails? And the guys are like, oh my god. It's the white woman equivalent of that. He has the last of his kind, but he has kids at the end of Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, him and Aerith finally got it together. Just kidding, she's fucking dead. Spoilers. Also, I don't like the end of Final Fantasy VII. I have a lot of complaints about Final Fantasy VII, but I don't want to really care about the Earth being regenerated hundreds of years later and Red 13 like having kids and shit like that. That's not particularly important to me. I think Final Fantasy VIII and 9 had way better endings. 8 in particular had a great ending. You get to see the entire gang together. Humanity fucked up and went extinct. That's sort of what's implied, or at least that nature is back or some shit like that, but as an RPG player, you don't really care about the fate of the planet and nature and eco shit as much as you want to see your party members be happy and have cute interactions in the end. Which is why it's not as good an ending as 8 and 9. 9 in particular also has a great fucking heroic ending. Where Zidane is like, bring me my dagger. Pretty much any role-playing game or fantasy that ends with the princess being sad in her tower and being forced to marry herself off to some like ugly bastard and stuff and being like, yes, I had fun during my travels, but now it's time to wake up. and realize that I have duties as a princess. And just as the wedding is about to commence, the fucking hero shows up and is like, I'm stealing you away, princess. And he grabs her and they run away. Probably the most Kino thing a man can do. If you're ever going to get married to your wife, make sure that she's being forced to marry an ugly bastard first, so you can show up and break up the wedding. Can I actually load? I'm trying to load the graduate wedding scene, but I think I'm streaming too much shit and my internet is fucking up. Reverse Shrek situation. Reverse Shrek? Oh, the ugly bastard part. For a moment I was wondering if Shrek was about to get married off to some beautiful princess. And then Fiona was gonna crash the wedding or something. Is that what happens in Shrek 2? I've only seen it once. I haven't seen Shrek 2. I've only seen Shrek 1, so it would make sense if that's the scenario, because Shrek is just a parody of every standard trope. But my NTR... If you're doing NTR properly... There's very little NTR that involves you just, like, actually properly getting married to the woman, now that I think about it. So, NTR authors out there, that might be an unexplored territory. Like, state-sanctioned NTR. It's always like she's already married to her husband and then you're cucking him or something like that. But instead, you could do, like, state-sanctioned NTR in a fantasy setting where, she has a lover, but because she's a princess, she has to marry you for the sake of the country. And she's like, I don't actually love you, I'm just doing this for the country. And then you slowly cuck her with your big cock. Being like, yes, but think of your country's economy, princess. And she thinks that she's doing it for her country and stuff like that, but eventually she realizes she's just doing it for your big dick. Feels good, man. There's a reason why grooms have the best man. Why? So the best man can fuck the bride? I don't understand what the best man is. Gotta have a wingman for when you bust into her village and steal her. If I'm a local evil warlord or aristocrat or something, I just have the right, what's it called? The first night's right, where you're like allowed to sample virgins or something when they get married or some shit. I can't specifically remember how it works. But it's like, it's my natural right as the local aristocrat to get to fuck your wife first. The king gets to fuck the bride before the husband. It was just an extra task. To be fair, it's kind of like, do you really want to fuck the quote-unquote virgin? A, she's probably not a virgin. B, if she is a virgin, it makes it even worse. It's probably way better to be cucking the husband after she's loosened up a little bit. This is why most NTR is about housewives getting fucked after they've been married for a while and the husband has stopped having sex with them. And they're like, hey honey, you want to fuck? And he's like, no, I'm busy, I have to go to work tomorrow. Because she's like, oh, please, pizza delivery man. It was a way of paying off debts to nobles. If some local farmer was in debt to me, there is no fucking way I'm just gonna let him pay off his debt because of his dirty, ugly-ass peasant wife. I mean, have you seen the average British person? Which is what I assume most of these fantasy situations are based off. Before orthodontics, you'd have to pay me to fuck a British woman. British peasant woman? My god, she probably smells like potatoes and fish or something. She'd be like, oh, hey there, my lord. I cream my hair really nice. Oh, you have lots of potatoes. Oh, what a nice castle you have. Brits emerge from swamps, yeah. The Romans are like, oh god, make them go away. Nobles weren't washing at all during the times, true. You would just have to hide your scent with a bunch of like incense and stuff, shit like that. Or let me put some pepper on my food so I can't smell the rotten meat. Yes, fuck me, mate. Fuck me. Oh, yes. Oh, their teeth were actually better than nobility because the nobles ate a fuck ton of sugar. Did they have sugar back then? I thought we didn't get sugar until we got, like, trade with the New World. I thought people's teeth were, like, generally good until we all, like, discovered cane sugar and had, like, enough slavery to have a sugar plantations. Oh my god, the Romans thing fucking killed me, LOL. For those of you who don't know, there's, like, famous internet copy pasta of the Romans being like, the British are disgusting. They're horrible swamp creatures that just hide in the fucking swamp all the time. We can't bring them civilization. This is the worst place on the planet. Sugar from honey, I think, starting in the early Tudor period. Interesting. Fuck the Tudors and fuck the Brits. I'm gonna marry into my Spanish nobility and fuck my incestuous cousin instead. Austria-Hungary is where it's at. Sugar from honey and beets. Beets are no joke. They have so much sugar. Whenever my mother makes beets, it's like, what the fuck is this? This is like a congealed piece of sugar. How the hell did this vegetable develop so it was basically a piece of candy? What the fuck is wrong with you, beets? How is this like a survival strategy? Why are you so sweet? Same thing for honey. What the fuck are bees doing? They're just like, la la la, just working slave labor in this hive. Oh, here come some humans that are gassing us with smoke, taking all our fucking honey. This is the plot of Bee Movie, by the way. Jerry Seinfeld, I'm gonna make a movie. What about a movie about bees being exploited for their labor? It was about as good as you'd expect it to be. I watched it on a plane. Bees are based. I want to be a bee drone and die. I don't want to be a woman, though. I'd rather be one of the few male bees whose entire job is to fuck the queen and then die. I don't want to have to work in the hive. Make the woman work. I'm too cool for that shit. Drones are males? No, they're not. Maybe I'm confusing bees with another, another bug. Drone is a male bee. Unlike the female worker bee, a drone has no stinger. He does not gather nectar or pollen and cannot feed without assistance from worker bees. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. His only role is to mate with a maiden queen in nuptial flight. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Literally, my only job is to fuck. I literally can't eat without women feeding me tendies. I don't gather shit. I don't contribute. I'm just gonna have sex and then die. Feels good, man. The worker bees are females. Yes. We should mimic bee society here. Make women do all the work, and then men's entire existence will to get fed and then fly around, inseminate another female, and then we just fucking die after that. You get to come once. I'm coming. Dies. Optimal male performance right there. Bee-cum is extremely scarce and valuable. Probably not that valuable. But I'm not like a beehive person, so it might be valuable. I won't know. You already do? But I haven't died yet. He stopped talking, throws corpse in the trash. Most mentally stable female, by the way. I'll develop cancer cell from my own genetic material, mutate it and force it into the water supply. I'll live forever in the bodies of humanity as the ultimate virus parasite. Yeah, if I would have like a superpower, I want to have like a superpower in which I live forever by like having clones of myself that I store in the sewer or something. You're a defective drone. I certainly don't do any work, that's for sure. I hope she recycles my corpse. She will need the protein for weeks to come. Do they really need to recycle your corpse? Shouldn't they just eat you immediately? Standard spider practice. Why wait? Just bite your head off while you're ejaculating. It's always weird when conservatives are like, homosexuality is against nature. And it's like, this person has definitely not studied biology. We should all base our own sexual habits off of actual nature practices. And some bees don't work at all. Science still doesn't know why. Wagey, get in cagey. Neat bee is comfy, cool, and warm. Whatever. The first humpback whale ever recorded was of gay whale sex. Yeah, I was showing this to Hystrixia. For those of you who don't know, we haven't actually seen how humpback whales reproduce. And pretty recently, a bunch of scientists in the Arctic, whatever, found two humpback whales circling each other, one with its dick out. And they were like, oh shit, we're seeing it. Historical moment. We're finally going to figure out. We're going to see and record humpback whales reproduction. And it turned out it was two male whales. And one whale was kind of injured, so it couldn't get away. So the other male whale was using its exposed cock to rape the injured male whale. It was, and so instead of getting to see reproduction, we got to see gay rape by whales. And the scientists were probably like, yay! Well, this is good enough. It's pretty close. Just like my doujins. Yeah, there's actually lots of weird yaoi among animal doujins. Hot. Let's see if I can't remember if I have the image of it. So I can't remember where I found this on the internet, but I saved this page because it's so well illustrated. Welcome to the bird boy love. The Japanese said the forbidden bird boy's love finally is released. I was just like, holy shit, this is someone with like level 100 artist skill. And I assume there's like a full doujin of this somewhere, but the image doesn't have the author's name, so I can't fucking find it. I definitely want to read the Bird Boy Love, like, meticulously illustrated nature doujin of two birds of prey having gay sex, but yeah. Hatofuru boyfriend but gay. I'm pretty sure this is really old. I can't remember when I saved it from the Japanese parts of the internet. If anybody can find it... Actually, can I just Google image search it? Is it actually going to show up? I probably shouldn't do this on stream. I might try doing this after stream and see if I can find it. No human otome MC to fuck things up. Yes. Hystrixia probably played Hatofuru boyfriend, but quit like 10 minutes in because she got distracted by the annoying female MC intruding on her homosex. 10.5 hours to go, Ball. I'm not going to do a fucking 12-hour stream, you psycho. Also, I'm not making any progress because I'm talking to you guys. This is essentially just like fun time and not actually manga progress. I only wanted the evil nurse teacher pigeon. I also appreciate the nurse teacher, the health class female teacher archetype. If you go to a Japanese anime high school, and you get sick, and you go to the health area, you automatically get someone who's like, she has the fucking white lab coat shit. She's like, oh, are you injured? And then the standard outfit has to be like, like this. And then it's like giga short skirt, right? And then, like, the student's like, Sensei, something is wrong with my wee. And she's like, oh my. This is called an erection. And there's only one way to fix it. I've literally never seen a Japanese school nurse that isn't supposed to be like giga sexy and doesn't have gigantic fucking tits. Every once in a while you might get one that's like really small and a loli or something because they're trying to break the mold. But really, who fucking needs that? It's just like, no, please, school nurse sensei. Do American schools not have school nurses? I'm pretty sure my school didn't have one. There might have been a school nurse. Why the fuck do American schools have, like, their school policeman that's there to beat the shit out of kids every once in a while, but they don't have, like, a sexy school nurse like the anime? It doesn't make sense. Like, what are they even doing? America, are you even trying? We had them. Unfortunately, they probably weren't sexy. They're not actually sexy in IRL, in Japan either. My Mexican school had a nurse. Is it wrong that I hope that she's slightly hotter than... See, in my mind, when I hear, like, Mexican, I kind of feel like there's a higher chance that they're more attractive than Midwestern white female nurse and not grossly obese as well. But I know that's not true now that Mexicans consume approximately 7 gallons of Coca-Cola per day. She was cute. See, this is what I'm talking about. One of the only cute people in my town is like the girl who works at the Mexican restaurant. So I sort of assume that there's like a good chance that if it's Mexican that it's going to be hotter than at least standard white bread woman, which is usually the lowest of low common denominators. We had a nurse, but a bunch of students from third year were capacitated in first aid. Yeah, I'm not gonna let a third year student fucking touch my boo-boo. The school nurse is gonna have to service that shit with her gigantic tits. They usually go downhill after 25 or once they get pregnant. So the Christmas cake thing is real? Is that what you're saying? Are women fucking over after Christmas? I guess Leonardo DiCaprio has the right idea when he's like, you get to have sex with me, but I'm breaking up with you after you're older than 25. There's a conspiracy on the Japanese internet that there is all the Japanese magazines that are like 40 is the new 20 or something. You're still young and beautiful. Men love 40-year-old women is like a huge conspiracy by other women above 40 who are trying to trick younger women who haven't, you know, hooked up and gotten married yet to ruin their life. Just being like, you're fine. Women are still beautiful even after 40. You definitely won't have any problem finding a mate. New 30 maybe. Well, when we used to consider 30 to be like completely old and busted, so it depends what old version of ages we're going by. Good old Middle Ages. Oh my god, she's 16. Oh god, old and busted. Get this old hag out of my bedroom. Bring me the next 11-year-old. If she isn't at high chance of dying in pregnancy, then I can't possibly have sex with her. The good old Middle Ages, you know. $70 is the new 35. With the powerful drugs we have, it kind of is. Aren't there like 7-year-old women who get like injected with giga pregnancy drugs and then give birth to like quintuplets or some shit? Still probably not a good idea, even if you can do it, unless you have a shit ton of money. Considering like you're gonna die when your kid's 18 or something, so. Super high chance of death via pregnancy. The good old days. Remember, if your wife dies in pregnancy, it's because she didn't pray to Jesus enough. She wasn't able to overcome her inherent sin as a woman. They usually just get a surrogate. Test tube babies can't come soon enough. Considering nobody seems to want to have kids. For the human race to survive, we're just going to have to be like literally just having kids in test tubes and then having them grow up in government programs, which people think is like a horrible dystopian future, but honestly, for like 70% of the kids growing up in America, they're probably going to get a better education in a government program than if they're being raised in their local Florida trailer park trash home. At least they might get some education besides watching shitty reality TV. See ya. Pick out your best of your genes to make your baby. I wish my mother got to pick out the non-autistic genes. But then I'd probably be an IRL Giga Chad or something, and I wouldn't be drawing manga right now. If she had properly weeded out the non-autistic genes, so. It can have unintended consequences. The problem is that this generation of brainwashed children are going to violently repress the non-test tube population. Well, considering we don't actually have test tube babies, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Japanese Andrew Tate, no way. You'd think there'd be more people in Japan that like are trying the Andrew Tate model of telling all guys that they're pussies, and the only way that they can become a real man is if they buy the $10,000 anti-pussy course that he's selling. But I don't know. I don't think there's any famous guys like that on Japan that are trying that business model. There's others that are doing similar shit, but not that specific way of selling it. If we didn't give a shit about social niceties, way more women would probably be having babies out of wedlock. I don't know. I don't think there's... I've had a huge argument with my mother about this, but I don't think there's... We know that there's no obvious reason why people aren't having kids in developed countries. Because if people actually knew the obvious reason, then the governments would have fixed it already. So we can only have theories about why once you get to this developed economy stage, people stop having kids. And it happens in literally every country, even ones that are still basically third world countries like India. Once they start reaching any kind of developed economy state, people start having fewer kids. And my theory is that people don't actually base their child having practices on how much money or free time or any kind of rational instinct. My theory is that people start fucking and having kids once there's like some sort of traumatic downward pressure on total population, which is why there is like a shit ton of kids after World War II, for example. And because now that people feel that society is stable and stuff like that, human life is valued more, and people don't feel like they have to reload the population by having a shit ton of kids. This is my theory. In my cousin, I know many cousins who had children before marriage. Well, a lot of people are posting anecdotal stories, but I'm not really talking about individual issues or individual people. I'm talking about society as a whole. And we absolutely know that birth rates go down in all developed countries. There's no denying that. And that goes for a lot of different countries that have different types of social situations. Like, you can't tell me that China is in the same social situation as India and America and Sweden, even though they all have like similar birth rates. Government is like, please have sex, and no matter how much the government is like, please have sex, we'll literally give you money, people still don't have more kids. And it's really not clear why. And if people could understand why it's happening, then they could figure out how to fix it, but they can't. In Ukraine, there are 2 times less children born, and half of the women left country and not coming back. I'm not saying that they're going to have children while they're literally having a war, though. I'm saying that after the war ends, then there'll be a boom in population having in children and stuff like that. But you literally can't have children right now when, you know, the country is getting bombed and all the guys are off on the Eastern Front and shit like that, so... More the lack of economic benefit of having children. So if people were rational, then the countries where they offered a lot of financial assistance should have increased people's motivation to have kids and increase the birth rate. But that didn't really happen. Disposable income has been decreasing for younger generations. That also seems to be a false flag, I think. Because the countries that, or the areas that often have the highest birth rate, for example, among developed countries, are often the ones where there's the lowest income, for example. Like in Japan, Okinawa Prefecture has the highest birth rate by far, and it also has the lowest income by far. So I think people who have kids, they don't really think that shit through very often. At least if you look as a whole. I mean, you think that the boomers were like swimming in cash? I complain about the boomers all the time, but I don't think they necessarily had huge cash reserves or anything. They're just like, fine, we're just gonna fuck and have kids and we're not gonna think about it. We're doomed? Yes, Korea is doomed on a much higher level than any other country. It's not even close, but Korea has like weird ass problems that other countries don't, with like feminism and misogyny and all this weird ass shit, so Klaus Schwab's population control microchips are working as intended. To be fair, even if human population goes down by a ton, we'll still have way too many human beings on the planet, considering the total number of human beings is causing global warming and mass shortages and mass extinction of fish due to overfishing and all this shit. So we'd be okay having fewer people on the planet. I think it's fine. You'll fuck the bugs and be happy. God, I wish they'd hurry up and create bug women that I'm forced to have sex with. At least in that sense, we can still steer in this good path. We're aware of the problem, but we're not aware of the cause of the problem. So I don't know if people can, or governments can fix it. Bug woman mentioned. It can't come soon enough. When will I get my moth girlfriend? My fluffy moth waifu? The Korean guy talk was an eye-opener for me. They are giga-fucked. Korea is a really weird situation. They're giga-fucked in ways that you really can't understand unless you're part of Korean society, I'm sure. Because it's like 0.8. Whereas other developed nations that are complaining about having lower birth rates are like 1.34, so... A roach is fine too. Roaches aren't that bad. We've been inherently told that we must hate cockroaches, but what if the cockroaches are sexy cockroach women? Consider that. God! Are you wanting the Shades of White moth yandere girlfriend or the regular moth wife? I don't want a yandere bug girlfriend. I want a sweet one that's kind and nice to me. People say yandere like it's some weird exception among female archetypes, but in fact most women are closer to yandere than the perfect, you know, Moya Blob vanilla girlfriend, so I think I'd rather have something that isn't a yandere. Thank you very much. So the regular trad moth wife, yeah, I can't remember which is which. Life is hard enough. You don't need a crazy woman to make it harder. Unless you're a true Giga Chad that can correct her with your cock. Which is a good motivating factor. But when I'm working out, I think I want to have a crazy yandere girlfriend that I can correct with my male muscular strength and cock. It motivates me to lift harder. But when I'm in chill mode like I am right now, I just want a fluffy, comfy female like a moth. The duality of man. Alright guys, that's enough drawing. I didn't make enough progress, or I'm stopping my drawing right now because I'm not making progress anymore. We're going all in on drawing shit. It's hard. Trying my best. We'll see how many hours I actually draw today. I'm recording that stuff now, so... Good night, guys. See you around.